I used to feel like I was a spectator in my own life. I used to feel like it was just one big game, life is a game. And I was sitting in the bleachers and not even the first row, like the fifth row or something. I felt lost. I felt like I wasn't in the driver's seat of my own life. I felt like I didn't have control, that every decision I made in my life was influenced by something else, someone else, and not me. For most of my life, I lived it as if life was happening to me. I would have something bad happening, something unlucky, and I would blame it on external circumstances. I would blame it on that person, that thing, that whatever wasn't me. Everything was something else's fault and not mine. There wasn't anything that I could change that would actually make a difference. I never thought like that. Not until I picked up a pen and a paper and I started writing. I asked myself, why is my life the way that it is? Why are these things happening to me? Why is life happening to me? And I didn't want to write the answers down, but I forced myself to. And I realized that a lot of the bad things in my life, the shortcomings, the failures, were my fault. So right now, I want you to do the same thing that I did. I want you to go get a pencil or a pen and get a piece of paper or a notebook or whatever and ask yourself, why is your life the way it is? And then answer the question. No matter how uncomfortable the answer might be, you must answer the question with complete honesty because that is how you will see your true faults. When I was younger, I felt very excluded. I actually didn't have any friends until I was 13 years old. And even when I did finally make those friends, I still felt left out. I would find out that they would be hanging out and wouldn't invite me. I would just never be invited to things, basically. I Even when we were together, I would always feel like I wasn't included in the activity that was going on. And I always used to wonder, like, why? Why does this happen to me? Only me. It took me a very long time to actually realize what has happened. Only when I was about 16 years old did I actually think, maybe every single person is excluding me, not because they all are at fault, but it's because there's something wrong with me specifically, that something that I'm doing that's causing me to be excluded. Because it happens with everyone. So what's the common denominator? Me. I'm in every situation, right? So it's my fault. There was something about me that just wasn't appealing to people and they didn't want me around. So once I finally realized this, once I finally realized that, maybe I'm the problem. I'm the one that is causing this to myself. I'm doing this to myself. I looked inside, I did some reflection and I already knew this, but I was very awkward. When people would say stuff to me, I would just have blunt responses, boring responses, awkward responses. And then I would wonder why people didn't want to be around me. Of course they wouldn't want to be around me. Why would they? I was boring. And then another thing, I wasn't authentic. I wasn't myself. People say all the time, like, you should be yourself, and people like you more. And then other people say, no, you shouldn't be yourself because the real you sucks, and like, just be who you want to be. I agree with a little bit of both, but at the end of the day, if you're putting on a facade that's too perfect, people won't like that. I was trying to be this guy that didn't have faults. I would never talk about my mistakes, never talk about my shortcomings like I'm doing right now. But before I didn't. And people would no one likes someone that doesn't have faults because that's not human. In the past 6 months, I've made the attempt to be more of myself, show more of my personality, be more goofy. Don't be like that guy. Don't try to be that guy because you're really not that guy, bro. You're not there yet. And in these past 6 months, I've made more friends than I've ever made in my entire life. And when when I go like see people in school, they look at me and they smile and they acknowledge my presence. You know, like that sounds so stupid to say, but that never happened before. I would just walk in and no one would look at me. No one would smile. I'd like dap someone up, but like I would go up to them first. They wouldn't come up to me first. You know what I'm saying? It's life changing. Just being yourself. It sounds like so like that cliche advice, but I think it's better to show your personality and stop trying to put on a front that isn't really you. Even if it's like a cooler version of you, it doesn't really matter because if it's a front, if it's a facade, people will know. And if they like maybe they don't know, but subconsciously they will be put off. At least that's what I think. So, moral of the story, figure out what you're doing wrong in your life. Why is your life going the way it is? Why are the bad things that are happening? Figure out why that's happening, what you're doing, and then stop doing it. That's it.